It's part 9 of the F1 Manager Career Mode with Ferrari, and 14 points cover the top 3 in the Drivers' Championship here as we head to the Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. Round 9. I don't know who this track's going to suit, but there is rain scheduled for the race, so it's going to be very, very interesting to say the least, and hopefully we can get a 1-2. I'd really take Max Verstappen retiring, to be honest. Hello.
Hi, back, Sophia.
Okay, well, what did Claire want?
This is on high far away. I did a long step on, and I was like, okay, I have to step for lunch. She was like, you're better drinking my complex, like good.
Very cute of them. At least they'll look after you, I know that.
Aww, I wish I was always being through the baby, baby. Baby?
Yes?
Coffee?
Fluffy, yes.
Oh my god, scared, that's my floor.
Are you going to go up to bed and go to sleepies?
I go to sleep, yeah, through the way.
You're almost home, don't worry.
Oh no.
Worry.
I'll make a cup of tea. I'm in Cameron now, I'm at the primary school.
Oh, what are you doing there, naughty girl? Kids.
No, I like it when you call me naughty girl.
You're a naughty girl, aren't you?
Was I a naughty girl touching myself up on the body yesterday?
Oh, yes.
Yes, I was naughty, wasn't I?
It was fucking unreal, that, wasn't it?
Or was it fucking, it was very unreal.
All sorts of flavours.
I know this funny going about, wasn't it?
Yes.
And I loved it so much, and I love any naughty ass for you, darling.
Oh, nigga. Nigga. Okay. Fluffy, I'm gonna have to go.
That's okay, Daddy. Thank you for staying on the phone as long as you did. You're encumbered.
No problem. You're almost home, yes?
I am.
Hear
Can
me?
you see if I'm in like an hour?
Yes, let me know when you're awake.
Okay, I will be.
Okay?
Love you, Bobby boy.
Love you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, sexy.
Bye-bye. And as you see for this weekend, we've got light rain for Saturday, light rain for Sunday, and that could turn the championship upside down as we go in to practice 1. I mean, so with practice literally being dry, it's going to be interesting to see what the grid order. I mean, how much do you sacrifice towards quali, you know, and all that stuff? So I mean, Leclerc gets fastest there. Practice 2 will simulate that session as well, and then we'll fix the setups overnight going into Saturday. But it is what it is. Like, I mean, it was me for starting 3 times clear. If Red Bull just found a sudden urge of fucking pace all of a sudden, it's not good. So we've changed the setups here for practice 3, but I mean, it's going to be a wet one, so I don't really understand. But Leclerc goes fastest with a 13.8 for Verstappen and Perez, and Sainz, both Mercedes, Bottas, both Alpines, and Gasly. AlphaTauri definitely like they've taken a few steps forward, but 85, 78%. Things are looking pretty good here for Ferrari here in terms of setup. But let's dive in to qualifying 1, and it's going to be very interesting to see if the rain is coming or has arrived or whatever. So let's look. It looks like Q1 is going to be dry, which is fair enough. Right, Ferrari, so show these bastards what you are made of. I've seen a lot of crashes in this track, like, to be honest, on YouTube, all the clips. Tyres are getting a little bit warm there for Leclerc. Leclerc though, going to go through the wall of champions. Hopefully next year he can call him. Oh. Expecting some rain. Leclerc through the final couple of corners. Goes fastest with a 112.4. Bottas not far away. Tell you what, like, we're fucking a lot quicker than the practice times. But look at that, Sainz 1.2 off. What is this guy doing? We're in. I mean, no rain for the time being, like.
Rain, so be careful.
Copy.
Oh fuck, it is raining. Oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck. No. Wait, what? Wait, what? What did he... It literally just came out of nowhere. There's no point in sending him it. Hopefully, I mean, we should be through, which is good. I mean, disaster for Alpine, Gasly and Russell. They look like they're all out. Yeah, I mean, look at the lap times. It's an absolute disaster for those teams. No more.
Okay.
And now the rain stopped. Oh fuck. Latifi's lock. I mean, this is. I mean, how Russell has scraped it out, I'm not quite sure. But it is what it is. I mean, Leclerc's safe, like, so we'll send the rest out. I mean, hopefully Sainz will be safe. But I can't believe George Russell's actually managed to fucking scrape it. But I'm not really surprised there wasn't much improvement. Nicholas Latifi, nah, he wasn't quite as bad as what he was. But Vettel up in P8, man, that's a surprise in the Aston. Fucking, I wonder if it's just going to rain for like little spells of rain. But I mean, 2 Alpines and a McLaren in Q1. Maybe not the McLaren, but both Alpines, and now that is a shock. So it looks like we're going on to the intermediates here for Q2.
Alright, you check.
Yeah, all good.
I think it's going to get fucking far heavier, isn't it? Let's just send them out.
So, reporting a lot of rain.
Okay.
Why are they holding each other up? Hopefully they drag each other away them, like, but an 18 point, oh yeah, actually isn't too bad. I mean, for starting, of course, just goes ahead and beats us. I mean, is it going to get better, the track, though? That's the only thing. I mean, for Hamilton goes fastest, which says to me the track might actually be... Fuck, wait, whoa. Fucking hell, what's going on here? Send them out back on these tyres. That is what it is. Right. Fucking hell, man. We're looking at the potential of a mixed up fucking grid here. And Leclerc. Leclerc is went out right into traffic. I mean, no, that ain't good work. I think Leclerc's out. Sainz goes fastest, and I think Charles Leclerc is out of the fucking session, honestly. Like, fucking honestly, like. man. Call car in. Fuck me, I don't believe this. I mean, I'm hoping. Fuck, we've made it through. Oh, Perez scraped through, the lucky bastard. Jesus, that was intense stuff. I thought Leclerc was out, man. Guaranteed thought he was out. But Jesus, I mean, this is going to be some mixed up order for the race. It's going to be a wet race and all. I can't fucking wait. Look like it's fucking dry now. What is going on?
And radio check when you can.
Radio check again.
I think the track is just completely bone dry now, so we can go it.
And no more rain. Let me know.
No more rain. There we go. DRS enabled. Let's get out. And set our lap times here in the Ferrari. So I mean, you'd think now that the grid's just gonna pretty much stay as it is, unless there's gonna be a severe fucking pile up or something. But Ferrari now, come on, what can we do? 12 flat, mine's 8 tenths off. Gasly 8 tenths off. Perez 2.8 off. Verstappen 6 tenths off. Oh, I like to see it. I like to see it, is right. Leclerc starting his lap, trying to get his lap done before the rest of these fucking jobbers get their laps in. And fuck, is that got worked out? Leclerc didn't improve. Fuck me. Well, guys didn't need to improve, but here we go. It's Carlos Sainz. What's he doing? Heading to the garage? Oh, he didn't improve. Oh, for fuck's sake. Verstappen goes P2. It looks like it's pole position. It is. Charles Leclerc on pole position for Verstappen and Sainz. A bit of redemption there for Ferrari. Thank God. And as the race is starting, there's no rain, so I mean that's intriguing. I mean, we'll just. Fuck it, we'll start on the mediums. Basically guarantees as they get to the rain, but I mean it looks like it's going to be on, off, on, off, on, off, and then a bit of dry towards the end, so this is going to be a fucking disaster if we're being perfectly honest. But we will try our best here with both of our cars to get across that line here at the Canadian Grand Prix. So
The drivers have now taken position on the
it's a
grid.
cloudy day with rain in the air. And here it is.
The drivers are ready.
Here is your race start. Let's just fucking, we need to beat Max, man. We need to strike back while the iron is hot, not
Lights out, and away we
look
go.
warm. And it doesn't seem like the greatest of starts there. Fucking, but it looks like we're doing alright. Looks like we're doing alright. Alexander Albon, man, up 9th. 11th. Fuck, but Sergio Perez, he's jobbed out here quite a bit. We're going to put Leclerc on aggressive.
So we need to push.
Fucking put him on deploy. I'll put signs on overtake. Let's try and get past fucking Verstappen here. Speed up a bit. There we go. Fucking hell, what? Aye, there we go. Fucking get him in the turn one. One signs. Oh yes. Close the door, Carlos.
Ferrari, advance.
There we go. We're fucking close it, yes, there we fucking go. Boom. Sorted. And Valtteri Bottas has had a spin. I mean, he's dropped out the points with that. He was going so well right behind the Mercedes and Perez. He just fucking dropped it.
Like a very nasty spin.
It is a nasty spin because it's fucking cost them big time.
And the team had such high hopes.
And the team are raging about it. No wonder we rain. Verstappen gets back in front of Carlos Sainz. I mean, how the fuck are you supposed to defend against him? We overtook Verstappen and put the cars, but we just have to get that DRS. We've done it. So just fucking stick with each other. Sainz overtakes Leclerc, and that's the last thing you probably want. These two squabbling over position as the rain looks like it's coming about like 20. Lap 20. Both Ferrari, I mean, they're just swapping places. I mean, we're 9 seconds clear for Verstappen, so it just does look like a Ferrari track. If we're being honest, Bottas is back in front of Latifi at the back. The rain is about 7 laps out. So it'll be interesting to see what will happen there. The Ferraris just keep squabbling. I don't mind them squabbling as long as we keep pulling away for Verstappen, which we are clearly doing there. If you look at the top left hand corner.
There is some rain coming.
Alonso locked up. It looks like he's dropped down the grid, but there is some rain coming, so to speak. And the Ferraris are fucking side by side here constantly.
Rain, so be careful.
And now it's raining. Who's going to be the fucking lead driver? I'll bring Sainz in. Lead driver. Put this lap.
Pit confirm box.
We should probably just pit them both, shouldn't we? Yeah, there's no point fucking leaving Leclerc out to fucking rot.
And box now, box. Pit confirmed.
Pit. I mean, be interested to see what the rest of all these fucking guys do. I mean, we're having to stack them both, which isn't ideal, but then P14, Ocon's had a lock up. At this rate, the Ferraris and Mr. Verstappen could overtake the entire grid. But yeah, Ocon, I mean, it's just damp track. I mean, you can forgive them for making these sort of mistakes here. Is that Kevin Magnussen, Gasly? Look how fucking high up they are running, man. P4 and 5. Alonso somehow in the points. Vettel's P8 and Albon's 9th. What's going on? The rain is getting less.
I think there's been a lock-up.
Well, I mean, Latifi's locked up. Like, I mean, that's nothing new, but the rain is getting less. And is it going to get to a point where it's going to be dry, or do you just stick it out on the inters? That's the only fucking dilemma we've got here. But if you look at that top right hand corner, like, the rain is just fucking. But now it's going back up. You know what I mean? It's one of those ones. So we've lapped up to P10 at this point. Like, that's fucking mad. Now with both Ferraris right beside each other again, but the only difference is now it's wet, no DRS, probably not gonna fucking do anything. But look at the rainfall. The rainfall is very light at this point for Verstappen. He's got it down to 14, but you've got to say, even though he's got it down to 14, he's got about fucking 10 cars to lap. So when you look at it like that, it doesn't really matter. For that point, if we look at the rain, it looks like it's going to get heavy. And then go off, and then light rain till late, and then go off with about 8 laps to go. Is what it is. It's doing pretty good here, Ferrari. Ferrari's doing no bad.
So there was a crash.
VSC.
And it will be DRS off. And virtual safety car. Virtual safety car. Copy.
I mean, we'll pit Leclerc since we gave him warning. There's, you know, I think that is probably the fair thing to do.
And box this lap.
But who crashed? Didn't even tell us who crashed.
There's been a crash. Sounds like a single car. We
So
can take
it
a
was
look there.
Mick Schumacher. Let's see what happened here. It was into the wall of champions. Yep, Mick Schumacher into the wall of champions. Fucking massive crash there. Damaged his front wing and everything. Fuck, I didn't think... Can't lie, like, I did think Leclerc would have beat it for Stam. I must say. And now the track's drying up. Fucking brilliant. But now the track's getting damp again. You know, we're just... these constant problems here. It's Carlos Sainz is just kind of sitting 10 seconds clear thinking, well, it is what it is. Alexander Albon, who was running so well in this race. I mean, look at my fucking cars he's got behind him. Just drops it. Just look at, I mean, it's a bit sad for his point of view. As we've got... Fuck, DRS is enabled. Overtake Charles Leclerc. Track is now damp. Go for it, son. What is going on there? Look at that from Max, man. He's a fucking cheating cunt. No, Leclerc, you've done him. Yes, brilliant. Charles Leclerc back up in the P2 and now on fresh inters to go after his teammate. Safety car is deployed.
So safety car deployed, safety car deployed.
Ignore.
No DRS, no DRS.
Who crashed? Fernando Alonso.
There's been a crash.
Let's see what happened to Fernando at turn 3. It was probably him and Sebastian Vettel. As he just locked up. Yeah, oh, it's a bad one.
Definite collision there.
Definitely was a collision.
And charge button on, charge button on. Copy.
Fucking look how lucky Mercedes are though. I mean, they were about to get lapped.
Slow down.
And they've managed to be caught right up to us. Fuck them.
Okay.
The tyres up to aggressive. I mean, Sainz can still get to the end. Like ERS, we'll put that on neutral. And here we are for the safety car restart. The rest of the bag of cars haven't caught up. I mean, there could be a massive crash with just guys trying to get through. Lapped cars. It'll be interesting to see how the fuck this is going to go down. But these guys are all battling for position behind us, so I mean, it's pretty fucking intriguing, to be honest, as we go through here. And it could be an absolute pile up into turn 1. Only time will tell. But Leclerc is on the fresh intermediates, which probably ain't going to go well for Carlos Sainz, if we're just being honest about it. But it looks so far, it looks like we're doing a decent job here. We're on lap 55, rain still consistent at this point, but we're beginning to pull a gap for Verstappen. I mean, Gasly's sitting P4, what a fucking drive. Same for Magnussen, man. And even Vettel, man. Absolute unreal drive. If he likes them. It's Perez, don't know what he's doing down there, to be honest. A bit of a disaster for him, but with dry tyres still probably about to come out at the end of this race, it's going to be intriguing to see who the fuck can hold on and who can't. I mean, there's 2.56 millimeters on the track, and I think that's just going to get lighter now until the end of this race with 10 laps to go. I mean, it's probably going to get to a point where it's going to be that dry with little laps to go. You'd probably just be as well fucking staying it. And I think that might be the course of action here, as we're on lap 60. Minor ERS damage for Carlos Sainz, not good. The rain is still pretty heavy, like, for being honest. It looks like this is the way it's going to end. Ferrari 1-2. Hamilton's managed to get past Kevin Magnussen. I feel sorry for Magnussen. Looks, I mean, at least he's guaranteed P7 at the end of the day. As for us, I mean, Max is actually cool. You know what? I want to put us up to aggressive. Because the last thing I want is that prick snatching another victory off us. Is what it is with 2 laps to go.
And no more rain.
No more rain, so it's actually, the rain has stopped. I mean, so this is the last chance you get to pit. Tell you what, like, it would take a risky duck to pit for this position, but we're obviously not going to pit. Tell you what, like, we're on to the last lap. We'll see if they enable DRS. Charles Leclerc is probably get a brilliant opportunity. Of going past his teammate here. He's thinking about it. But it's no quite happening for Leclerc. Two attempts is the gap. And we're not, I mean, Sainz has got his ERS saved up. I mean, I'm just going to leave it at that. Looks like it's going to be a Ferrari 1-2 here to end the Grand Prix. Is what it is. And it looks like Verstappen's going to come home third. And Pierre Gasly is going to be P4. Another driver locked up. Who the fuck locked up? Fuck, there's been a crash. What? I think it's Lance Stroll and Latifi, but who cares, man? Because it's a Ferrari 1-2 led home from Verstappen, but literally in the last lap. Let's see what happened here. So I've got Lance Stroll going for a move on Latifi. It basically just locks up and smashes straight into the back of him. Disaster. Disaster, guys. As Pierre Gasly is going to come home P4 in the AlphaTauri. Unreal result for him. Hamilton's going to be coming home in 5th.
Nice one, guys. You've done a good job.
Magnussen and Russell battling each other to the line. There's Bottas behind. But they were a lap down, of course. Then it was Perez from, looks like, oh, come on, Vettel, get a point for Aston. Come on, son. And across the line he does. And there you go, there is your order. Great wee race. It's Carlos Sainz, man. Sainz wins the Canadian Grand Prix. And as you can see, there is the amount of points he did get. The fastest lap it was in like the first stint. You know, our fastest laps compared to Verstappen. Fucking hell. Pierre Gasly, that is him and Magnussen. That is the drives of the day. I mean, good qualifying helped them, but Fernando Alonso not good. He was running in the points at one point, guys. And if you see the drivers, we're what? 3 points behind Verstappen with Sainz. We are 10 behind with Leclerc. Still all to play for. Very much still all to play for. Leclerc's had 5 pole positions. Sainz has had 1. Same amount of wins, same amount of podiums. Is what it is. Well, Verstappen, 3 poles, 9 poles. I mean, see, Verstappen's been on the podium every race. There's his consistency. Constructors, we extend our lead in that. Brilliant. That's what we like to see. It was good to see Gasly getting up there with the points as well.